In the aftermath of the Horus heresy, the Great Scouring began. The once mighty legions that had pledged allegiance to the War Master were to be hunted to extinction with the Emperor's last decree. The remaining loyal Primarchs took this decree as the excuse they needed to seek the vengeance they felt they deserved. As the traitors were harried and harangued back to the Eye of Terror, many were the atrocities carried out on both sides in those darkest of days. The World Eaters, once noble and proud, were carving a bloody swathe to the Eye of Terror. All semblance of order was now lost, and the scars of bearing the brunt of the siege of the Imperial Palace were plain to see. Angron only wanted skulls, and his legion had no qualms in seeking them. Imperial records from the Great Scouring are poor at best. Maybe in the midst of all that chaos, even the loyal legions lost something of themselves. What the records do recall was the senseless slaughter brought about by the 12th Legion of the World Eaters, what they wrought on worlds in their path, and one such story has become a myth and legend. As the 12th Legion neared the Eye of Terror, the Great Fleet was arriving piecemeal, no longer the coordinated force it once was. It reduced itself to warbands seeking the glory of their new god, and the nails sang and they willingly obeyed them. It was one of these warbands that came to meet a foe quite unexpected. For while near the Eye of Terror, they fell upon the Imperial world Gracius Minor. It was a fairly unassuming agri-world, only 2 billion souls, and it was of little strategic importance, and therefore poorly defended. And as the warriors of the 12th destroyed what little defences Gracius Minor had, desperate distress calls were sent. The water was raw and boiling, and the planet's governor was informed that they were probably on their own. So, stalwart and resolute, the defenders armed the PDF as best they could and vowed to go down fighting. And then, inevitably, the slaughter began, and it looked like another senseless massacre was about to take place, another amongst the tens of thousands already. But just when hope was lost, a force unexpectedly arrived from the warp. Drop pods slammed down like rain, while up above, the cruisers of the 12th exchanged fire with the new arrivals. A great howl filled the foxes, and the ferocious 13th Great Company of the Space Wolves set to its task. Caught by surprise and drunk with the blood slaughter, the 12th lost many of its warriors to the feral beasts that fell on them. Hammers and claws rending armour with contemptuous ease before martial instincts were finally found. The 12th finally rallied, and you are about to witness what followed.
Hi guys, welcome to another special battle report, and I'm here, and it's been a long time waiting, but I'm back at the centre of excellence that is Mr. IDICBeer's studio, let's say, and it's great to be back. It's been a while. It's been about a year.
It has, yeah. It's been some time.
It's been a while, but it's great to be back. We always have very fun battle reports, and I think this one's going to be no different.
Yeah, and this has been in a long time making, really. We've planned this for quite some time, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. This has been literally about over a year almost, I think, to be fair. I think it's taken a year for Nick to convince me not to bring something cheesy down. That's how long it takes to kind of try and convince me. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We are going to play a very narrative-driven game today. Both two armies that a lot of blood, sweat and tears have been put into producing. Nick's army is absolutely stunning that we're going to go and see in a minute. But yeah, this is going to be great. So we're going to play 2,000 points. We're going to play 30k, so it's going to be a 30k scenario. Obviously my army is purely 30k. Nick is playing a 40k army, but he's embracing 30k, and we're going to use the full rules for that. So as in troops, it'll only be troops that are scoring, so that's kind of, if you're used to watching 40k, that's probably the biggest difference. The mission's going to be slightly different. The mission we'll go into a little bit more in a minute, but in theory what it's all about is ground control. So you've got certain amount of points for holding certain parts of the battlefield. But that's pretty much it, guys. It's going to be bloody, it's going to be brutal, there's going to be banter as always, and we'll see you in the deployment and the armies. Right guys, and here we have 2,000 points of the 13th Company Space Wolves. So Nick, would you like to run through what you've got?
Yep, sure. So I'm starting off with the Wolves Unleashed detachment. And heading up with the HQ choice, I've got Ragnar Blackmane, and he has a Venrisian Wolf. Hopefully he's going to do quite well, especially if there's any challenges issued. Hopefully he'll be a bit of a beast in challenge. We've got then on to troops, starting with 10 Grey Hunters. This is a melter orientated one. So I've got a pack leader with a combi melter and a power weapon. He's also got a melter bomb. We've then got 2 melter gun guys. We've got a power fist guy and a standard bearer. All the others have close combat weapons, the bolt pistol and bolt gun. Then the next squad is a plasma orientated one. So we've got a pack leader with a combi plasma and a power weapon, 2 plasma guns, and then another power weapon, and the rest again have close combat weapons and the 2 guns. And the last unit is a duplicated one of that, so again combi plasma power weapon, 2 plasma guns, a close combat power weapon, and the rest with close combat guns. We then move on to the Wolven. I've got a pack leader with frost claws and another frost claw guy. We then got 1 great axe, 2 Thunderhammer Storm Shield guys, and the whole unit has the Stormfang auto launcher. And then go on to heavy support. On the left hand side there we've got 3 las cannons and a missile launcher with an ancient. And then on the other side of the board, on the right hand side there, we've got 3 missile launchers and a las cannon and another ancient. And that's the formation. And then we go on to the Wildstorm Brother formation. 2 rune priests. The first rune priest has a plasma pistol, armour of rust, which gives him a 2+ and then a 4+ invulnerable, makes the opponent -5 initiative in a challenge. We've also got a digital weapon for a re-roll of 1 failed wound in each close combat phase. The other rune priest has runic armour, so that's a 2+ save and a 6+ invulnerable. Then lastly I have the Wolfkin formation, so 3 units of 10 Venrisian Wolves. Each unit has a cyber wolf, and they're going to help me with some flanking, which hopefully I'm going to get some flanking units from the Unleashed detachment. And that is the 2,000 point army.
Okay, and here is my 2,000 points of World Eaters. We are using the Berserker Assault Rite of War today, which in a nutshell basically means that outside of my deployment zone I get Hatred, so I get rerolls in combat, which is very nice for first round of combat. I also have to always do a sweeping advance if I can, which is pretty standard. And on top of that, I re-roll 1s on running, so that's pretty good. So not too bad. With this particular list, I think it's going to favour me more than the Crimson Path, because I'm not going to necessarily be in the enemy's deployment zone as much. So we'll talk through what we're running today. So leading the force is Khan the Bloodied. Great HQ. Obviously he will give me the +1 to seize, which is tasty. He's also a little bit of a beast in combat, and he likes a challenge, which I think is going to suit this mission scenario perfectly. He is then flanked by his brother-in-arms, which is Garlan, who is the character apothecary, which means that he can make 1 unit his inducti, which I'll go through in a second, and also the unit that he joins gets a 4-up Feel No Pain, which is quite a handy buff. Okay, so we'll go into troop choices. I have 2 standard tactical marines, one which you see here, which is all bolters. The sergeant has got artificer armour. He also has a lightning claw and melter bombs. And then if we go over to the other side, this is the unit that will be selected as the inducti, and they have all got axes. The sergeant again has a artificer armour and also has melter bombs. He's also got a combi melter in there, and obviously because they're inducti, they have got +1 strength, they have -1 ballistic skill, and they will not be a scoring unit. And so in this mission that's quite a detrimental effect for me, because the more scoring units is going to be helpful, but it does mean they're going to hit very, very hard. So carrying on in troops choices, we have got 2 assault marine units, both 10 men, the minimum size in 30k, and both of them are kitted out exactly the same, which is a sergeant with a power fist, melter bombs and artificer armour. So we have 1 unit there, and we scroll over to the other side and we have another unit there. In the centre, when we go into the elites, we have got a unit of red butchers. The devourer has 2 chain fists, as you never leave home without the 2 chain fists, and they have as their dedicated transport an anvilus drop pod, which is very, very handy. Great to get them straight in the thick of the action as quickly as possible. Also in elite's choice, we have a second apothecary. This apothecary is using one of the World Eater's special weapons, which is a meteor hammer, which is quite nice. It's just very fluffy, not the best weapon, but really, really cool on the model, so I wanted an opportunity to use him. And obviously he is also going to give a unit that nice little feel no pain, which is a nice little addition, trying to get these guys across the board, which they're going to definitely have to try and do today. Also in the elite slot we have a Contemptor Dreadnought. The Contemptor Dreadnought has got his close combat weapon, and he's got a Carrier's assault cannon. He also has a melter in his power fist. I don't think I gave him any other upgrades, but he's a pretty decent unit. He's going to run forward and see if he can get in action. Then when we go into the heavy support section, we have the first outing of the Leviathan Dreadnought. Still waiting for a name, so obviously Sam from Emperor's Path, I'll put the link down below, has named his Leviathan. He put on my Instagram page what we should name him, and so we've been running a little bit of a poll. So if you want to kind of try and name him, there will be a little prize. So jump over to my Instagram, you'll see the link below, and you can try and name the Leviathan Dreadnought. So he today has got 2 close combat weapons. So he has a siege drill and the siege claw. He also has a Phospec launcher, and he's got the Volkite underslung weapons as well. So even though he's absolutely close combat king, he is also kitted out with quite a bit of shooting as well. So he's definitely going to be the heavy lifter here, and the one that Nick will probably struggle to deal with. When we're hoping maybe take a bit of fire off the other units. That's got to be the plan. So that is my 2,000 points of World Eaters. Okay, so now we've deployed. So the mission we're playing, as I said, is a 30k mission. It is called the Tide of Carnage. Now it should be a really fun mission, and it's very, very fluffy in this kind of narrative game. So how the mission works is at the end of the game you get points depending on what part of the battlefield you hold. So if you hold your own deployment zone, so if you have a scoring unit, which is a troops unit, and obviously my troops is I have my assault marines and I have 1 unit of tactical marines, and Nick's got 3 units of scoring as well. So if you hold your own deployment zone, that's 3 points at the end of the game. If you hold the no man's land, which is the centre of the board, so not within either deployment zone, that is 5 points. And if you hold the enemy's deployment zone, that is 7 points. And you only score it if there are no scoring units on the enemy in that deployment, in that part of the battlefield. On top of that, there are 2 bonus points available. So 1, you have Slay the Warlord, which is pretty standard, but no First Blood and no Line Breaker. What you do have is you have Last Man Standing, which is the army with the most units at the end of the game scores an additional point for that as well. So it's very, very fluffy. Both these 2 armies are going to meet in the middle, and there is going to be some blood spilled today. So we've got 2 heavy foot slogging armies. So the World Eaters deployment is pretty much all along this line. We've got Khan in the centre, we've got 2 tactical marines, we've got 2 tactical marine squads, we've got the Inducti, we've got Garlan in there as well. So there's 2 kind of survivable units, both with their feel no pain. We've got the Leviathan, we've got a unit of assault marines either side, and we have the Contemptor Dreadnought with the Carries over this side. Nick's deployment, again pretty counter, so he has the 2 Longfang units either side of the board, 1 with predominantly las cannons, 1 with predominantly missile launchers. We have got some split fire, so he's got a little bit of split fire in there as well, giving him options. He then has Grey Hunters, is that right, Nick?
Yep.
So we've got two units of Grey Hunters.
2 on the board.
So 2 units of Grey Hunters on the board. And then we have the Wolves, the little Fenrisian Wolves. So we've got 1 unit here. We've got 1 unit down in the ruins here, and we've got 1 unit over the far side as well. Then we have the Wolven, which are over here in the middle behind the Fenrisian Wolves, so they're ready to pounce. Obviously extremely important unit for Nick, absolutely powerhouses, and they need to get in combat. I think they should be able to beast anything in combat. We'll see. He's got his one of his rune priests on the board, the other off the board, which does stop him from using some of his shenanigans, which is quite beneficial, or reduces the impact of it. Nick's got some good psychic powers, so we're just kind of discussing it. He's got quite a lot of damage output there. We'll go through them when they happen within the game, but some good powers there. And yeah, have you got 1 unit outflanking?
Yep, 1 unit.
So what's the unit you've got outflanking?
More Grey Hunters.
So another unit of Grey Hunters with the other rune priest.
Yeah.
And they are outflanking due to the formation special rules. So yeah, very, very good. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got 2 very, very combat orientated armies. They both want to hold and take ground, so this is going to be an absolute bloodbath. I can't wait to get this one underway. Right guys, so what I didn't mention, of course, was Nick is going first, so I am going to try and steal the initiative. Okay, because I have Khan, I get +1 to seize, so I am seizing on a 5. Let's see whether we can get lucky here. Come on, for the World Eaters.
No!
And that's a 5, so off we go, turn 1 for the World Eaters. So end of movement, an aggressive start for the World Eaters. The pod came smashing down here, massive scatter, but just scattered it across the board. So it's absolutely in line with the Wolven. So we're going to see almost certainly a Red Butchers versus the Wolven standoff, which will be very interesting. My money would be on the Wolven, but we'll see, we'll see. It's probably not quite where I want it to go. Everything else has come forward, pretty much as far as it could. Going through terrain, I rolled pretty hot, so nothing really caused too much trouble. I didn't get slowed down too much. I did lose 1 Assault Marine due to dangerous terrain from those guys, but everybody else is fine. We'll go into the shooting. It'll be a fairly short shooting phase. I've not got very, very much to shoot with, but we'll see whether we can cause some early damage to the Space Wolves. Okay, so we're going to start off with some shooting. So the Leviathan is going to shoot up and see whether we can get some of the Volkite shots on to these guys. So obviously I'm a contemptor, so hitting on 2s. Oh, that's a cocked dice. So we've got 3 hits, not too bad. We're strength 6, so needing 2s. So that's 3 wounds. Nick's in cover. We've got night fighting as well. So he's going to be on a 3-up anyway, so that's fine. And he loses 1. So because of that, because of the defagorate rule, I get an extra hit there. So that's another wound. So normal save again. Saved. So no issues there. So 1 of them drops. So not too bad start. And then the Contemptor over here is going to try and see if we can whittle down some of the wolves. So we've got 6 shots. Hitting on 2s, they all hit. And wounding on 2s with 6's rend. And that is going to be 5. AP4, so we've got 1 rend. So 1 looks like it'll be probably a 5-up for your night fighting. And going through one of my own units. So it'll be 1 5-up.
Am I on the building?
Oh yeah, so you'll be 3-up still because you're on the building. Okay, all 3-ups.
1 down.
1 down, and that will be the end of the shooting for the World Eaters. We'll do some running and then we'll come back to you at the end of the turn. And with that, it's the end of the turn, so everything's moved up as far as it could in the run phase. We're trying to still grab a little bit of cover, but on the whole everything's just pretty much going aggressive. I know I'm potentially going to take casualties in the first round, but there's no other way in the World Eaters' way of things. We just have to go up, have to try and meet the enemy head on, try and clear them out. There's no waiting in this game. No point in being in our own deployment zone. So we all just come smashing up, and now we'll see what the Space Wolves can do in return. So, end of the movement for the Space Wolves for the 13th. So, everything's kind of come forward as well. Nick rolled a 5 on his Wolven chart, so they've got Furious Charge, which is pretty tasty. Pretty much obviously the long fangs of Stay Still. everything else of these has kind of come forward. He's been eyeing up what kind of options he's got a little bit of shooting, but definitely the drop pod is a little bit of a quandrum, not really too sure what to do with that. But yeah, some aggressive play for the dangerous units. But yeah, we've got a little bit of a Space Wolves are a little bit more candid, still aggressive, but very much not sure quite what to make of this this World Eater army. So we'll go into the shooting phase now. Okay, but of course the Space Wolves have got a fair bit of psychic powers as well, so quite an onslaught of psychic powers coming in. Nick using 3 powers, one to make this Assault Marine treat the terrain as straight away that's open as dangerous terrain, immediately having to take a dangerous terrain test, all passing no problems. But then more psychic powers came in their way. So what was the first psychic power you used, which had the 2 profiles?
Yeah, Fury of the Wolf Spirit,
which was tasty. So that was just 2 shooting profiles, and managing to do some more damage there. So taking off 2 guys with that, and then Living Lightning killing another 2 as well. So 4 guys died through that attack. Did take a break test and passed without any problem at all. But yeah, so pretty brutal. So we'll go into shooting now, but the Space Wolves already making their mark on this battlefield.
Yeah, it's going to be 4.
Okay, so the second unit of Long Fangs are going to shoot into the already decimated assault unit over this side. So we've got 3 las cannons and a missile launcher. The missile launcher this time is going to use its frag rounds to try and see if we can take out a few guys. We've got the sergeant out in front, so we'll try and hopefully tank some of this. But Nixon, first of all, we've just worked it out. It's going to get, what, 4 if you get a direct hit?
Be 4.
So do you want to start off with that?
Yes.
Let's see how we get on with a, hopefully on a wild scatter here. Not too bad because it's not going to really move. It's going to move 1 inch. I think it's still going to get all 4. I would say. We'll just have a quick double check, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So still all 4. So 4, and so
strength 4.
So strength 4. So wind on 4s.
Oh.
So just the 1. So we've got the sergeant out in front. So he's got artificer armour. So let's have a 2 up. And he makes that, no problem at all. So now we're going to the las cannons.
3 las cannons, needing 3s.
And just the 1 hit, needing a 2 to pretty much fry. Gets that, obviously. And the sergeant is going to look out, sir. Which he doesn't. So now he has a 4 up, or he is vaporised. Which he is vaporised. Sergeant goes down. That's the power fist. And after that shooting, just a few little other bits coming in. So we had a melter gun miss onto the drop pod. We had a plasma gun shooting through onto these guys. And it was 2 plasma guns in fact. And one of them was fried. Rodder 1 failed to save. And the other one I made a save with my cover save having a toe in cover. And that was pretty much it from shooting. So on the whole pretty good. This unit really badly damaged. And obviously the sergeant going out with a power fist is a big bonus for the Space Wolves. There's going to be no assaults. There's going to be no real runs. Nick's not really too sure what to do with this pod, so we'll see what happens as we go into turn 2 for the World Eaters. Okay, so end of the movement phase for World Eaters, turn 2. So everything again is pretty much advanced. So these guys, if they've walked up, they've decided not to use their packs. They roll pretty good, so they've got a 5 inch their mover, and they're very close to where those Fenrisian Wolves are, hoping to see them off. These guys tripped over their own feet. The Inducti only rolled a 2, moving through terrain, so they're a bit slowed down. But the Leviathan crashed through, no problem at all. Got a 5, I believe, 4 or 5. So he's probably on about an 8 inch charge from that unit. So potential charges there. This unit again didn't do too badly. Moved forward a bit further. Would have liked a bit longer run. They only got a 3 inch movement. Those guys. We're gonna have to bring them through majority of cover. The Red Butchers are piled out of the pod. Rather than going sort of straight over this way, I'm potentially looking at tying up this unit, killing that unit off. I think the Wolverine will outclass the Red Butchers, and I want to potentially put a meat shield of his own unit in front of the Wolverine to slow him down, to try and kill off some of his troops. The assault unit here, the temptation was to bound back to try and secure my own deployment zone, but that's not the World Eater way. So these Space Wolves have obviously pounded this unit with shots. So they are going to go into the fire. So they are running through, and they are going to try and do some damage to these Fenrisian Wolves. So they did take their dangerous terrain test. No damage done there, which was good. The other Dreadnought did also trip over his own feet. Only rolled a 2, moving through. So he's just to the other side of those those ruins. So he's going to hopefully lend his support with some shooting, potentially try and do some damage from the long fangs up in the ruins. And that is pretty much it. So we'll go into the shooting phase and see whether we can put some little softening shots into this 13th company and see whether we can soften them ready for a full-fronted assault from the World Eaters. Okay, so we've done a few runs. We've taken two off there from some pistol whipping from the assault marines. They went to ground. Again, these guys falling over their own fleet, but we're going to start off with a little bit of shooting, a bit of softening up. So the Contemptor over here is going to shoot into the long fangs that did some damage to his friends. So here we go, we're looking for 2s. And we get a couple of 1s in there. And then we need 2s again, strength 6, and we're looking for those 6s for the Wrens. Okay, so that is 1 rend and 3 normal wounds. Okay. So do you want to take the normal ones first?
Normal ones, yep. So it'll be, obviously, cover save, 4+ cover save.
Yeah, your 3-ups anyway. So 3-ups, yeah, your 3-ups are going to be better. So one is going to drop,
and then
then you'll be on your 4-up with the rends.
No, another one goes.
Another one goes.
So I think that's probably that one.
Okay. So a little bit of damage done there, which is handy, and that at the end of the turn will be a break test for those, which is pretty tasty. And we'll go on for the rest of the shooting. Okay, so that's the end of shooting. I've decided not to shoot the Leviathan, even though he'd probably do more damage through shooting, but I want him in the back lines and I want him tying things up. If I shoot at this unit, I'm almost certainly going to take him out of charge range, so we're going to go for the charge on there. And the Red Butchers, obviously, they're going to be looking at charging as well. So we'll go into this assault phase and we'll do some charges. So these guys here, they will have to take some dangerous terrain tests again, because every time they move they're going to have to take that. But we'll do a charge anyway and see how we get on. Oh, 3 inches, that's not going to make them in because they are going through terrain, but they did use their jetpacks in the movement phase as well, so they won't make it in. Disastrous stuff. Now the Red Butchers are going to charge into this close unit of what they call Grey Hunters. Grey Hunters, here we go. So okay, now they can re-roll. Any unit that predominantly contains Red Butchers can re-roll, which is a bit of luck. And they will definitely be in. So we'll
do Overwatch.
Yeah, so Nick will do some Overwatch, but hopefully that won't cause me too much trouble. Famous last words. So we'll come back to that in a minute. So yeah, so we'll remember that, and then we'll go over here. There won't be any Overwatch from this side. So these guys are going to jump through here. These will be able to re-roll because they haven't used their jump packs to move, which is a bit of luck because I think that would be out as well. So we'll try and re-roll that. 5 inches, we'll come back, that might be enough, but I think it might be too short. These jump marines are not doing very well. 5 inches, do you want to do it?
3 inches.
3 inches, yeah.
Yeah, you're in. Yeah.
You're in, just in, that was lucky. Now I'm going to say at least 8, maybe even 9, but we're going to roll that for the Leviathan now. Let's see how the Leviathan gets on. And nope, and the Leviathan doesn't have fleet. So the normal Contemptor does, but the Leviathan doesn't, so that's bad news. These guys have run, obviously, to get up in their face. And that will be it. So we'll go into combat now. Right, so we're going to go into some interesting assaults now. So first of all, let me just mention that over there the Assault Marines easily cleaned up the Fimirizian walls. They did lose 2, but they've consolidated. Obviously, because they're World Eaters, they have to consolidate to closest models that they can kill. So they've gone towards those guys, which is a bit of a pain because I'd rather go hunting for the long fangs and also keep in really hidden cover. I can't do that. We're going to go into this combat now anyway. So I've gone through here. I have issued a challenge, and the Rune Priest has stepped up against the Devourer. They are both going to go simultaneously because the Rune Priest does have a unwieldy weapon as well. It's going to be an interesting one. We're going to come back to that in a minute, but first of all Nick is going to try and strike me with his the rest of his unit that can get in range. So what you got?
So pack leader first of all.
Mm-hmm.
Coming in with his power weapon.
Okay.
So 3 attacks plus counter charge.
Yep, so you're always hitting me on freeze because we are raging madmen. So all hit. So that's pretty good going. We're only toughness 4.
So it'd be 4s.
Yep. And that looks like 3. And this is AP...
AP3.
AP3, so we're still getting our 2-up save. So here we go. We make them all, no problem at all. Right, okay, now the rest of the unit hitting back. 15 attacks coming in. Needing 3s again because Raging Madmen. It's got obviously counter attacks, so it gives him a bag load of attacks, so that's not too bad at all. And now he's looking for 4s. 4s to wound. Okay, so looks not too bad. 5, so probably slightly under average. And we'll see how we can do now in saving these. Again, we're just looking for our 2-up saves. Oh, we get a couple of 1s there. So we do have a Feel No Pain 6-up, which we make one of them. One loses a wound. Obviously, Red Butchers have 2 wounds each. We take 1 wound.
Just rolled them all.
So we just worked it out, and actually Nick's got a few more attacks. There are a few other guys at the back that were in striking range, so we're going to do those now. So he's got a power weapon, but it's not going to make much difference because I'm obviously got a 2-up save.
Freeze.
Okay, not too bad. And now looking for 4s.
Another 2 saves.
Another 2 saves.
Another double 1.
Let's not have a double 1, please. That's 2 saves, no problem at all. Okay, so we're going to do the challenge last, but first of all the Red Butchers are going to hit him. So quite a lot of attacks, obviously because of the Berserker's Assault special rule from the Rite of War. We're also re-rolling these first round of a combat, which is pretty tasty. So let's go, we're looking for 3s. Okay, so we're going to then re-roll those misses, which is not too bad start. So that looks like that's all of them. So just 2 misses. Okay, so we're liking that. Right, okay, and now we're looking for 3s to kill. And that, we'll roll that one again, that looks a bit cocked. Okay, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
All of them.
So that will be the unit dead. And the Rune Priest, who is now absolutely lonesome after seeing his brethren go down pretty harshly from the axes from the Red Butchers, he will be striking the same time as these, so he will definitely get his attacks. But the Devourer is going to hit him as well. So the Devourer is going to go first, why not? So obviously he has an extra attack, plus his close combat weapons, plus 1 for the charge, so tasty stuff. Okay, they are all hitting, which is a good start again. He needs 2s. These are power fists with chain fists. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Are you going to believe it? Only 1 gets through. But only 1 they need, because it will be instant deathing the poor gentleman. So, Nick, do you want to do that save before you see? Because he does get a 6-up in Vom.
Mr. Wolf has a 6+.
Can he stand up and be a hero?
Yes!
So he does. He is going to stay in there. He's not going anywhere. So we will go into his attacks now. Okay, so now he's going to hit me back now. So he's hitting in the Devourer. So he's got 3. He's hitting on 3s. So he gets 2. Not too bad. He is going to be wounding on 3s. Okay, so just the 1 wound. It is AP2. I have got my invulnerable save of 4-up, which I make, which is good. So Nick will need a double 1 to stay in there. So do you want to roll that now, Nick? See whether he can run away. He is going to potentially run away. So we'll do initiative roll off. So I'm going to get a 3, and Nick's going to get a 5. So he's going to get away. So 2d6 running away.
9 inches.
9 inches. I think he's going to stay on the board.
Yep.
He is going to stay on the board, but he is running away. We will consolidate and come back to you. Okay, so end of the turn, an action-packed turn, very, very entertaining. Can't believe that his damn Wolf Priest survived, but he has, and the Red Butchers go on trying to chase him down to the edge of the board. But obviously he's a Space Marine, and he's still playing a 40k codex, so he will rally automatically, so not too bad there. And that will come to the end of my turn, so not bad stuff. We've marched on forward, we're in their lines, we're doing what World Eaters do best. Now we'll see what happens. So Nick's going to have some outflankers, but we'll see whether the Space Wolves now can retaliate. They still have the Wolven central in the middle of the board. They are within touching distance of the Red Butchers. Will we see Wolven versus the Red Butchers? Will we see 30k versus 40k? How will it go as we go into turn 2 for the Space Wolves? Okay, so end of movement phase for the Space Wolves. Some dynamic new moving here. So even though a really poor roll for their movement through cover, this unit, the Wolven rolled on their hunt chart and got the one where they managed to get to move an extra 3 inches on the movement, which put them in range where they need to. Just discussing, so my Leviathan hasn't got ceramite armour. Now you always take ceramite armour on a Leviathan when they cost that much money, but or that many points, but there we go, schoolboy error. So that may well come back to haunt me as the melter goes within melter range. The wolves in the centre, they've moved up. They are either going to try and roadblock Khan's unit or maybe try and take some of the damage out of them. And then the Wolven, as expected, have turned around to face the Red Butchers, so that should be an epic clash. The lucky Wolf Priest that rallied, or didn't rally because he's a Space Marine, he automatically regroups, has moved into those ruins. And the new unit has arrived, so they've outflanked on this side, and they are eyeing up options of potentially taking a run into my deployment zone to secure those points, or lending their support to make sure that this unit bites the dust. And the wolves have come around this side to make sure they're not going through cover, so they can strike at the same initiative, and they're going to hopefully, with the weight of fire and amount of attacks, hopefully bring down those assault marines. So very, very interesting stuff. We'll go into the psychic phase and then into the shooting. Okay, so the so-called Mr. Wolf over here has, after riding his luck in combat, is now going to unleash the storm in the psychic phase. So we've just rolled and Nick successfully manifested it. It is a warp charge 3, and he did perils, but he got a 5 and passed his leadership no problem. So he is going to shoot that storm straight at my dreadnought. Now he has just rolled a grand total of 13. 13?
Yep.
13 shots with this thing, so it's strength 7 AP dash, but he does have a special rule which is called shock, where every roll of a 6 to hit he manifests an extra 2 shots, so pretty damn good. So he's going to let loose with this, so I'm guessing you're going to need 3s to hit. Here we go.
1 6.
Okay, so I think I got quite lucky with that. No extra, only just a 1 6, so not too bad. Okay, so with those extra, that pretty much means that everything hit. So he's going to go in at strength 7 against front armour of 12, needing 5s to glance, 6s to pen. There's 2 pens, 3 pens, and a lot of glances there.
4 glance.
Okay, so we'll just come back to you once I get enough dice in my hand. Okay, so I have a 5 up invuln against shooting. So we'll take, straight away, we'll take the glances. So here's 4 glances, needing 5s. Wow, that's pretty good. That's only 1 getting through from the glances. But unfortunately, if I don't do well through the pens, it may be all in vain. So here we go, come on, it's real hot here. Oh, he just bites the dust. So he will, let's see what happens.
2 pens.
It's AP dash though, isn't it?
Yeah, AP dash.
So it's not going to make any difference. So he is just going to be a wreck. So just manages to get through the dreadnought. That's a good strike for the Space Wolves. Right, so we've just been over here, and 1 more Marine pulled down over there from the Assault Marines, but no damage done from the squad there. So we're going to go over here. He's dispatched 1 dreadnought. He's going to try again. As I said, no ceramite armour. He has 2 melters in range. He has a combi melter that's out of melter range, but he's going to pop it as well to see whether he can take out this very nasty dreadnought. So go for it. So we've got 2 standards.
2 standards, meaning 3.
3s. Okay. And so the first one, melter.
Yep, strength 8. Yep.
That's a pen.
Second one.
And that's a pen as well. So we've got 2
pen.
pens. Do you want to roll the other one as well?
3.
It hits.
Strength 8. 9, 10. No, nothing.
No, nothing. So I have 2 4-up invons from the Leviathan. We need it here now, boys. Wow, like a beast. Absolutely, that's a weight off my mind, because dropping 2 dreadnoughts this early would be brutal for me. So they won't be able to hurt anything else in the unit. Won't be able to hurt him. So we're going to the next bit of shooting. Okay, so now the Longfangs are going to try again to see whether they can put some damage onto Leviathan. So they have a las cannon in there, and they have 3 missile launchers. So go for it. What's shooting first?
3
missile launchers. Hitting 3s.
2 in.
Not too bad.
So strength 8.
Strength 8 against 13.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. Not too bad there.
One
And we have a
las.
las cannon.
Misses.
Of course it misses. Las cannons always miss.
Way off.
Right, okay, so now all the way from the other side of the board, again, the orders from the Space Wolf is bring these monsters down. So we have some split fire going on. So we have one las cannon that can just about see the Leviathan through the wreckage and through the melee that's going on in the centre. So we're going to have one las cannon of that, first of all, which hits.
Strength 9. 13.
And that is a glance. So we'll see whether we can stop that. Which we do.
Well done.
And then the other Marines that are split firing are then going to shoot their solid shots straight into these Marines that are out in the open.
So las cannon. Cock.
Cocked.
Hits.
And
Wounds.
fries.
And then a missile launcher. Misses.
Misses. So one guy goes down from that. So end of the shooting, we're going to go in and do some charges now. So the Space Wolves, the little dogs here, are going to try and finish off the remainder of the guys there. To be honest, Nick can't fail that. He's within 2 inches. So let's see how far you go, Nick. Do you want to have a quick roll, see how far? Okay, so miles in, they'll be able to wrap round onto those guys. And then we have the Wolven again. Let's see how far they are going to go into me. I think they're shooting.
Plus 3 inches they've got.
Okay, so they're going to easily obviously get in and wrap round, and we'll have a bit of a fight on our hands over there. And then we are going to see whether this unit here, so I'm in an R in, there's a power fist in that unit, which is right at the back, so it probably needs a pretty good charge. And he does have a melter bomb as well. So we'll see. He's hoping that maybe he can punch a hole in this Leviathan that has shrugged off the shooting. So he's going to go for a charge in here. Okay, so that's definitely going to be in.
Plus another 3.
Plus another 3 because of the Wolven. So I'm guessing that probably will be enough to get his power fist in. We'll resolve some Overwatch and we'll come back. Okay, so I'm pretty confident about this. This probably will be my downfall, but I'm not really too sure what Nick's doing here. He's looking confident, but I'm not too sure why. So he does have Furious Charge. Ragnar Blackmane does have +1 strength from his Frost Axe, Sword, whatever it is.
Frostblade.
Frostblade. And it does have Rending as well. So brings it up to Strength 6 plus Rending. So if he gets the Rending hits, he can potentially do something. He also has a guy in there who will be able to throw a Melter Bomb at the end, which also has a chance. So he has a small chance. But half a chance. But he's going to have a go. So here we go. So we're going to start off with Rackmane. Rackmane, he is at Initiative 5, so he's going to go first before everybody else. So let's do that then first of all.
Weapon skill 6.
So you're needing freeze to hit.
Mastercrafted.
So he gets to roll 1 again.
Yep,
Okay,
one miss.
so just 1 miss, that's not too bad. So he's going to need 6s now. Here we go, it's the big one, lots of 6s. And you might have the last laugh.
No.
I can't see many 6s there. Okay, so now the Dreadnought is going to go back into the unit. So I have 5 attacks. I'm hitting on freeze because of majority weapon skill. And that is 1 miss. Look at all those 6s. Not that it's going to make much difference. And now I need 2s to squish. Wow, so I missed 1, but 3 Marines are pulled down. Okay, so as always, as we're filming things, so we realised that the banner actually gives the unit +1 attack. So we went back and we did another attack. We thought 1 attack off camera, he's going to need a 6 and a 6. And what does he do? He gets a 6 and a 6. And he actually got a pen, and he did roll a 3. So pretty good, takes off 1 of the hull points. And he now has a Power Fist and a Melter Bomb to see whether he can do some more damage.
So Melter Bomb.
Go for it. So Melter Bomb needing a 4. Doesn't get. His Iron Weapon Skill 5.
Yep, okay.
So misses. And then we have a Power Fist.
Okay.
So 2 attacks. 3 because of the 1 on charge.
Rage, so.
Yeah. So 4 attacks. Tasty. And needing 4s.
2 hit.
Gets 2 hits. Strength 8.
No.
Nothing at all.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, so the Marines lose combat there, so the Space Wolves potentially, let's see if they held on. They do get to re-roll this because of the banner as well, I believe. Is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
So we're looking for an 8 here to see if they stay in place. And they do, they're not going anywhere. Right, okay, so we're going to go into the big combat now. So, I've issued a challenge, and he has accepted. So he has the Claw guy, who is going to go head-to-head with the Devourer. But first of all, he has another Claw guy as well, and he has an axe that hits at initiative. So yeah, so we'll see what happens. Right, okay, so I think I might have made a mistake, guys, because I didn't realise these damn claws are bloody AP2. But here we go, anyway, we're going for it anyways. He's got a bag full of attacks, he's coming in hot. He is low weapon skill, but we are madmen, so we are obviously going to be letting him hit on 3s. So go for it, Nick, what you got?
So 3s.
Okay, come on, some 2s and 1s.
Yeah, 2s and 1s are there.
Thank you very much, we'll take that. Right, 3 get through. And now he needs 2s with a reroll for Shred. He gets them all. Oh, right, okay, so come on, Mr. Devourer, come on, here we go. Needing a 4 up invuln. 2, and then we have a 6 up invuln. We could really do with him making one of these. Come on. And we don't, so he goes down. Right, so we now go into the standard claw that's going into the rest of the unit. So if he hits batter, this could be very bad.
3s.
Okay, needing 3s. He misses a couple of times.
Yeah.
Okay.
2s. Shred, luckily.
So he's going to re-roll those. Take some 1s, come on. No. 3 get through. Okay, so again, looking for 4 up invulns. Nice, so we make 2 that time, and then we have a 6 up Feel No Pain. Which we make. Happy days. If only the Devourer could make those sort of saves. He has one other guy that will hit before me, before we all go. Okay, so now the big nasty axe that is strength 8 that will be instant killing is going to hit in next. So again, needing 3s.
3
Ooh, 3 hits, nasty. They're needing 2s.
All in.
All
3.
in. Brutal stuff, guys, because every single one of these I fail will be a Devourer dead. Okay, so here we go. Needing 4s for the World Eaters.
Oh.
And like a boss, we make them all. Happy days. Now we will be striking at the same time. Let's see whether the World Eaters can start to hit back. Right, so we're going to do the Space Wolves first. They charge, so it's hammer time, and let's see whether the hammers can strike down these World Eaters. Okay, so hitting in, needing 3s again. Cocked. And we've got 1 cocked, but this is looking pretty hot so far.
Yeah,
only 1 miss, and these only need 2s. 2s, so
Strength 10.
not nice. Okay, and I don't think this is looking good for me. So this is 6 saves to make. Thankfully, we do have a 4 up invuln, and that is going to be crucial here. No Feel No Pain from these bad boys. It was 6 actually, wasn't it?
6, yeah.
So that's 1 too many there. Let's go for it. Here we go. Come on, let's have the pause. And 3 will drop, which will leave me with just the 1 guy. So brutal stuff, but before we go down, let's see whether we can bring some of these Wolven down. Okay, we really could have done with the Devourer here, because he was the one that would have gone past their Feel No Pain and take out 2 wounds. The axes won't, but we still have a lot of attacks here. We are going to hit on 3s, and we are re-rolling. First round of combat, World Eaters, the Rampage, not Rampage, the Berserker Assault, Rite of War. So here we go, needing 3s. Okay, with the re-rolls. Need this to sting now, really need this to sting. Here we go. Wow, that's all of them. Okay. So, even though they are Wolven, they are still only toughness 4, so we need 3s. We got 3 misses there, but that will be 6, 7, 8, 9. Feel No Pains. Oh, you've got some. Actually, you've got some shields in there.
2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what are you going to start with?
I'm going on the shield. So
okay.
One of these.
So 3 ups.
Yep.
Makes it like a boss.
So Feel No Pain.
1 wound down. Yeah. Feel No Pain.
No, 1 wound down.
Yeah. 1 wound down.
So continue the wounds. Feel No Pain.
Feel No Pain.
No, he's dead.
Okay.
And then on the next
We have
shield.
another shield guy.
Ooh.
2 wounds potentially. Feel No Pain.
Oh, lost.
Wow. Makes both the Feel No Pains. Last 2. Okay. 1 failed.
Feel No Pain.
Feel No Pain makes it on the Feel No Pain. Brutal stuff, guys. Brutal stuff. So only 1 guy drops, and I believe that little nasty little swine is now going to hit me again. So I just have 1 guy left who remains on 4 wounds. So we'll see what happens as he strikes me back for the final time. Right, so we just done them off camera. He got one through, so one 4-up invuln to see whether one last butcher can survive in there. Come on, can we do it? 4-up. Makes it on the 6. The butcher stays in place. We are fearless. We fear no space wolf. Okay, end of movement for World Eaters in turn 3. I think this is a vital turn. I think this might make or break the game potentially for me. We've gone for it. We need to try and bring home the pain. So the Assault Marines that were over here have jumped up to the top of this ruins looking to engage the Long Fangs. Did lose one through dangerous terrain, but not too bad. And then over here, obviously the Leviathan is deep in combat with that unit. And what has happened is Khan has left the Tactical Marine unit and he's come over here. And he also has the... so that unit has come out of ruins. It didn't get very far, but further enough to join that combat. So that's going to be good. The Tactical Marines here have moved up so they're as close as possible to hopefully get rid of those Fenrisian wolves. And over here, the Assault Marines, the 3 left, are trying to chase down those wolves because obviously they're going to have to then take a leadership test or they'll be destroyed if we assault them. So that's going to be the plan there. Unfortunately, it is going to almost certainly mean that this side of the board is going to be pretty, hard for me to do much with this unit, which means that Nick will be able to move down this side of the board and potentially take this side, which is going to be pretty tough for me to do much about it. So we're going to have to really kind of put the pain in here, clear this unit, and then look to kind of come back to secure our own deployment zone, which is going to have to be the plan. But that's why even more important that we hit really hard over here. That's why this will be such a crucial turn. So all to play for. We'll now go into some very, very quick shooting, and then into the important round, the combat round. And a very, very quick shooting phase it was. So no shooting here. I'm going to try and chase these dogs off. I want to make sure that I don't fall short with that charge, because if I can't overrun them straight away, I want to try and chop them up in combat. I don't want them to get away with it. Obviously the Red Butcher's stuck there and his day is definitely numbered. I can't see him survive another round of combat, but there we go. You never know, stranger things have happened. These guys here did shoot into the wolves, and Nick went to ground, so losing just the one roll, pretty hot there. And then the only other thing to happen are the Assault Marines at the top here, and they didn't do any damage at all, failed to hit on the Long Fangs, but that's fine because they're going to rip them up in combat. That's got to be the plan. So we'll now go into the assault phase and see whether we can really put the hammer down. Right, okay guys, so all successful charges made, some really big distances made, so the Inducti are all wrapping around. They're going to make sure they're going to try and lend their help to the Leviathan. The unit through the other side has easily got into the wolves and has wrapped around quite nicely. I have, as expected, overrun the other Fenrisian wolf, easier to say, and unfortunately I have had to consolidate close to the Wolven to their certain doom, but never mind. But we thought we'd film this one because this is a little bit more uncertain. So I have charged in against the Long Fangs, and Nick now needs to see whether he can take out 1 or 2, try and make that charge range a bit more difficult. So some Overwatch coming in.
Okay, so 3 missile launchers. 1 hits.
Nice, okay.
Not wounding.
Not wounding, okay.
And the last cannon misses.
Misses, like all good las cannons do. So we'll roll charge distance and we'll be in. Right guys, we are well in the midst of combat. The Wolven have easily taken down the Devourer, well not the Devourer, the last of the Red Butchers. The wolves in the centre have been taken out by the Tactical Marine squad, and they are running back. There's a few of them left, they've consolidated. The other dogs have been cut down, as we said, by the Assault Marines, and the Long Fangs have been taken out of the tower by the Assault Marines. But it all is going to come to blows down here. So Khan has issued a challenge. Ragnar Brackmane has accepted that challenge. So we are going to go into that. You're going to get to see this. They're quite well matched. I think Khan is slightly better. His save being a 2-up and having the Feel No Pain through the Apothecary in the unit is going to help him out a lot. And Gorechild is much tougher. Gorechild is much tougher than the relic blade that Blackmane is wielding. They will hit at the same time. Khan has much higher weapon skill, particularly in a challenge. But this will be epic, so we're going to roll it for you. As I said, we are going the same time, so in theory they could take each other out at the same point. We both have 5 attacks each. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, so we're going to start off with Khan. As I said, same initiative. I need 3s to hit, and I re-roll misses because of the Berserker Assault, which I make, and Gorechild is +1 strength, so we are needing 3s, and 6s are instant death. So we have got an instant death and we have got 2 wounds. This is AP2, so we'll go into your invulnerable saves.
Yep.
So 2 normal ones first of all.
4+ invulnerable.
Okay.
1 wound, I'll take that wound.
Okay, and then you have a dreaded instant death.
So it'll be 4+ invulnerable. And because of my Warlord trait,
He can re-roll one save.
1 save.
Second chance, 4 up, or he dies.
Saved.
He saves, he stays in there, and now he will strike me back. So go on, strike me back.
Okay, so weapon skill 6, I need 4s.
Yep.
Oh, luckily he has
Reroll ones.
reflexes. Reroll 1. Oh no, that's the save.
So Warlord trait means he can re-roll in a challenge, so he's going to re-roll those.
Yeah, the Warlord trait was to reroll the save.
Okay, so he's going to go for this. So the Warlord trait now allows him to re-roll those misses, so thankfully he's going to get to re-roll them all again. And that's a little bit better, he gets 2 hits through. And what's the strength for this?
This is strength 5.
Okay, so again 3s.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. So Khan does win this round of combat, but Ragnar stays in there. So we'll see what happens now as we go into the rest of the combats. So we come back at the end of that assault, and an absolute bloodbath. In the end, just far too many attacks coming in from the Inducti, dragging down the entire unit, but Ragnar was not hurt anymore by that attack, by those attacks, even when you take into account the Dreadnought as well. So he stays in there. In fact, because the guys were striking at the same time, they did bring down 5 of the Inducti as well, even with the Feel No Pain, which was pretty good going. And Ragnar did fail his leadership test, but was held in by Khan, so they stay in combat. Obviously everything now will be able to hit into Ragnar, so he should die this turn, and that's quite a big blow for Nick. It's really swung this turn. We've very much taken the centre of the board, which is a really good move for us. Because we rolled such a good consolidation with the Tactical Marines, we put a little bit of distance between us and the Wolven. They will be able to chase us down, they're incredibly fast, but that's helped quite a bit. And then over here, as I said, we hold this ruin as well. So as we go into turn 3 for the Space Wolves, we have a very strong Wolven unit that needs to chew through the remainder of my army, and we have the Grey Hunters. Grey Hunters?
Yeah.
Grey Hunters that have come in this side that again are at full strength, but they are very much on their own this side of the board, with very little that they can do at this stage. And we have the remnants of the Longfangs still hanging out in those ruins. So it's looking pretty grim for the Space Wolves as we go into turn 3, but we'll see what the 13th can do as we go into the death rolls of this game. So end of a very short movement for the Space Wolves. So the Grey Hunters down here, they've decided that probably the best move for them is to try and capitalise on points. So they're going back towards my deployment zone, while hopefully just lending some support fire into potentially the Assault Marines. Obviously the Longfangs are up in their tower still, and the Rune Priest, he's a Rune Priest, right? Not a Wolf Priest. So he's a Rune Priest, and so he's come down from the ruins, and he is now feeling a bit more brave. Now he's only got to deal with 3 guys, and I expect shooting will take them anyway, but he's going to potentially go in and hopefully finish them off if there's any pieces to pick up. But the big thing is the Wolven. The Wolven have turned round and want to get in a mix. They've absolutely got to clear out the middle of the board, which even with Wolven is going to be tough, but they're going to go for it. So they've got a good movement into the ruins. They can obviously run and charge, so they should make it into the first tactical unit. That will be good because that will clear out scoring unit, because they are my scoring unit. And then obviously after that, depending on what happens in the middle, they'll have options to next turn maybe go into the danger unit. So we'll see what happens. A lot to play for still. There's points on the board to be scored for both sides. We'll go into the shooting and the psychic phase now and see whether the Space Wolves can chip away at this World Eater warband. Right, so these guys have weathered a hell of a lot of the storm. They have taken all the shooting without any casualties. Everything's pretty much turned on them. But, as I said, no damage done. The long fans, though, did, however, go after the pod, which did lose 1 hull point. And it lost its heat lance. It got a weapon destroyed. The Wolven got a decent run. They're within touch and distance now of the tactical marines. Very little I can do. Nick needs to fail a double 1 twice because he rolled that on the Wolven chart, so he gets to re-roll his charge. So very, very unlikely that he's going to fail that. And obviously we're in combat here, so we'll go straight into the combat phase. In fact, Nick, let's see if you can roll a double 1 twice. Go for it, because I reckon you can do it.
Yeah.
Double 1, here we go.
Is there absolutely no chance?
No, very much not. Okay, so the Wolven, as expected, shredded through all of that unit, and Garland went down as well. I did manage to, because they're hitting the same time, I did manage to bring down 2, which was pretty good. Nick, there wasn't really a lot he could do, but Nick did sort of not manage to get his shields to the front because of his stretch movement. So his non-shields had to take some of the damage, and that meant that my lightning claw I used to shred basically one of them, and then I got lucky with some wounds onto the next one. So it means there's only 2 Wolven left, which is pretty good there. And now we'll go into the main event and see whether Khan can get his man. Right, okay, so Khan's going to hit first. I don't have the rerolls to hit anymore. I need 3s though to wound, to freeze to hit. Okay, so 3 hits, that's pretty good, we'll take that. And now we need 3s to wound with 6s, instant death. Oh, only the 1, just 1 invuln to make.
Made.
Which he makes, he doesn't even need his reroll. Now he's going to hit me back.
Okay, so 5 attacks, 4s, re-rolling.
Nice.
All them.
Pretty good.
We're looking for rending.
You need the 3s. 6s for the rends.
1 6.
1 6 and how many wounds?
3
2
wounds.
2 wounds and 1 rend.
Yep.
Okay, so here's the rend. I have a 4-up Iron Halo, which I make, and then 2 normal saves, which I make. So not too bad now. We should now, to be fair, because we're in combat, the Dreadnought will probably finish off Ragnar, but we'll come back at the end of assaults. So we thought it was a foregone conclusion. Well, I thought it was a foregone conclusion. Nick's sitting here looking smug.
Full faith. Not with my glasses on.
Not with the glasses on. So guys, yeah, he shrugged off. He shrugged off the Dreadnought. He shrugged off the Inducti, and he shrugged off Khan. So I will get it. Might be my turn now, but I'm getting quite worried because the Wolven are approaching, and Khan's got to turn to try and see him off before we're going to get absolutely assaulted by those Wolven. There is only 2 left, but I don't like the Wolven, so it'll definitely make this an interesting turn as we go into turn 4. Turn 4 for the World Eaters. Right, a very quick movement and shooting phase, no shooting, so all that's happened is my assault marines that were kind of quite close to the top of that building have jumped down, and they are hiding behind that tower. Not very World Eatery, but to be fair, I don't want anything to do with those Wolven, and those are the guys that will potentially take me the points that I need to secure the game. So they're hiding down there, there's very little Nick can do. He's threatening me with wolves, but I'm not worried, they're wolves. They die like the rest of them. And so obviously we're in the melee in the middle, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can strike a little bit hotter than we did last time, or otherwise we're going to have a whole lot of Wolven on us next turn. Got very, very lucky with the jump pack guys that were over here. So the jump pack guys moved across there in their movement phase, and then I rolled a 6, which managed to get me just in the tip of these ruins, which is what I needed to do. We need to try and make sure that we stop the Grey Hunters scoring the points for being in my deployment zone. I can't really hurt them, I've got nothing really in range to cause them much damage, but what I can do is deny them those points by getting into my deployment zone. There's only 3 of them left there, so I'm going to have to hold firm. He's got all sorts of heavy weapons and all sorts looking at me, so it's going to be tough for them to hang on in there, but so far these guys have been true bosses. So if their rolling's been like anything like it has for the rest of the game, they're going to sit pretty for the rest of the game, and we'll see what happens. But in a second we will go on to the all-important assault, see whether we can slay Ragnar, take the spoils for Khorne, and carry on our journey back to the Eye of Terror. Okay, and the onward battle continues. Khan, if anything, is getting stuck in. He needs to hit hard. We need one of them instant death to stick. But Ragnar's proving very, very resilient. He's a right nasty little guy, and he is using every trick in the book to keep himself in this battle. So Khan's going to hit first of all. I have 4 attacks, no rerolls, but 3s to hit. And that again, we will take that, but we need to convert these, so we need 3s, and we really need one of those 6s to pile on the pressure. We get a 6 and we get a 3, so we'll have 1 standard and 1 of the nasty, nasty instant death. So first of all, can you take a standard, please?
Yep.
Which he makes on a 5. Now, can you take an instant death?
Yep.
Which he bosses again. This guy is not messing around, so no issues there. And now, Ragnar, strike back. What can you do?
Okay. Here we go. 4s. Oh, reroll.
Reroll, yeah.
So 3 hits.
Tasty. Nicking for 3s again.
Over 6s, rending. 2 saves.
2 standard saves. Can Khan boss it? Let's see. Oh, we've rolled a 1. Can we make it on the Feel No Pain? What was that? I didn't miss that. Did I get the 6 on that, or was that the 1?
So that was your Feel No Pain.
That was my Feel No... What, the 6 was? Or the 1 was?
No, that was a save.
I'm trying to cheat here, guys. So I got the 1, so Khan loses a wound.
Yep.
Khan loses a wound. So we'll now go on to the rest of the assault, see whether the Dreadnought this time can pull him down. But so far, Ragnar's been a beast. Here we go. So we're just coming back because I'm hoping that this will be the one. So
not gonna happen.
It is gonna happen. I'll get you glasses again, Nick. You see Nick's glasses. So we have absolutely stripped away another wound just from the inducti. I've chipped away 1 more. The sergeant has struck back, and he has also taken a wound off Ragnar, but he has an opportunity to save it now. He only needs a 3 up. He has failed his reroll now, so he just has this. Here we go. 2. 6. He's not going anywhere. And he has taken a wound from Khan as well, so that means they will stay put in combat. Right, so we've gone through the movement phase. Not very much has happened. These guys are just kind of moving across this way. They need to make sure they get in the deployment zone. It is only a 5-turn game, so they haven't got very, very long to kind of react. But again, this Rune Priest has been doing some work all game long and has used his psychic power again, Living Lightning, to strike into my boss of a unit here that are in ruins. But unfortunately he rolled pretty hot. He got loads and loads of shots through, and I now need to make a bucket load of saves. So these guys should, in theory, go out, but they're bosses, so they're going to survive. Here we go. No. they're very dead. Right, end of movement shooting, just some running from the Grey Hunters, and we're straight back into the key battle here. It's going to be very, very close. The Wolven have dashed in, they're going to try and take down the Dreadnought. They've got the ability to do it, there's a hammer there, strength 10, they can deal with it if they get lucky. But first of all, let's go back to the main event. Let's see whether Khan can strip that last wound, or will Ragnar continue to be the bane of this combat. Right, okay, so both striking the same time as always, Khan needing 3s. Wowee! And now needing 3s again. We get the 3, 1 invuln save, makes it again! What a beast, what an absolute beast. Okay.
So, attacks back.
Yeah.
In 4s, I can re-roll.
Thankfully for the re-rolls.
That one misses.
4, and then you need 3s.
I'm looking for 6s, rending. Oh dear.
Nothing at all. Okay, so both these are absolutely tired. This has been an exhausting slugfest for them both, and now they're struggling to find their feet. So we'll now go into the next bit of combat. So everything's pretty much striking at the same initiative. So we will go into. So this is your round. So go on. You want to start with the Wolven? See whether you can do some damage.
Yep.
So your lightning claw. Well, he can't do anything, can he?
Isn't it 1 combat, so it doesn't go on to the others?
Yeah. Yes, you are within range of him. Yeah, go for it. So do your lightning claw first of all.
How many attacks is it?
Starting off with the Wolven, the pack leader, with his claws. He's going to go straight in and he's going to try and take out the unit. He needs him 4s. He's hit really well.
Yep.
He's hit really well. Because now he only needs 2s, and this is AP2.
Shred.
Nice. Wow, so that's 6 Feel No Pains. Okay, so let's see whether we can do this. Okay. Okay, 6 Feel No Pains needed, come on. So we make 2, but unfortunately 4 of the World Eaters drop. Which looks like that will take all of the Inducti, but they will still get a chance to strike back, so we'll do that now. Okay, so starting off, we have the normal guys needing 4s, and then needing 4s again. Just the 1, so 1 save for the Wolven.
Takes a wound.
Which he takes a wound, for no pain. Which he still takes a wound.
Yep.
Okay, we've got the sergeant, no hits. We've got the apothecary, 1 hit, no wounds. And then we have the dreadnought. Come on, dreadnought, here we go. Right, there's 2 hits. These are what we need. Here we go. That's 2 wounds. So it's up to you how you take it. I'm guessing you're going to take it on the shield, because otherwise that other guy is just dead.
Hasn't it got on the other guy because he's already wounded?
Yes, it does. Yes.
He dies.
So he dies, and then you have 1 save, 1 free up, and he dies. The Wolven bites the dust, but the axe will still get to strike.
Yep.
So he won't strike at the hammer. Sorry, he won't strike at initiative because he was dead before initiative, but he will strike from his special rule. So he's now going to see whether he can take out that dreadnought.
Okay, so you get the no bonuses for rage and stuff on this one. Do you?
Yep.
So 3 attacks.
Hitting on 4s.
Strength 10.
Yes.
1 penny.
That is a pen. Just need to have a double check, find out what my save is, whether it's a standard 4 up. In fact, let me just roll it. I have a feeling it's just a 4 up. I will consult it afterwards. So we'll check it. So that should, no, that will definitely get through. So
Okay.
so let's roll, see what it does.
3.
A 3.
AP 2, so it's 4.
So it's a 4. So it's not going to cause him any grief. It will just be another wound down, because it's not going to be a weapon destroyed result. Okay, so pretty good. Wolven go down. They have lost combat now by how many wounds have you taken? You've taken 4 wounds.
2. 4.
4 wounds.
4 wounds.
So do you want to take that leadership test?
Yeah.
I think people will be running away.
No.
No. Again, Ragnar is saying no, I don't care who else is around, I am still going to take this army on my own. Brutal stuff as the Wolven go down, but importantly, 1 wound left, but he doesn't care, he's going to hang in there, he'll take the whole army on his own. And that will be the end of the Space Wolves turn 4, and we'll go into the last turn. This is not random game turns. We only go to turn 5, so now we'll go into the World Eaters turn 5 and see how this game finishes. Okay guys, so really no movement, in fact absolutely no movement in the World Eaters. This is my final turn, these are locked in combat, and we've just been having a right old laugh because my Congo line of World Eaters that are here, Nick's been trying to bait me with his wolves, but of course that would be the stupidest move for me to come over. Now I could probably kill them quite easily, but what that would mean is if I committed to killing them, I would almost certainly be in range of his long fangs down the other side of the table, which is exactly what he wanted. He's been baiting me, but I'm not going to take the bait. So these World Eaters are staying where they are. If the wolves want me, they can come and get me and I'll chop them in combat. We are not going to get drawn into that. So what this is basically going to come down to, guys, is it's going to come down to, can I kill his warlord? If I can kill his warlord, then I will secure a draw, to be fair. I don't think, probably need to work it out, but I think it will probably just be a draw if I kill his warlord. If I don't kill his warlord, Nick will certainly win this game because of the last man standing, because he will have a lot more units alive than I will have. And I don't really have the ability to change that at this stage in the game. So if I kill his warlord, I will take that. Nick will almost certainly take the last man standing, and then we will both take the unit in each other's deployment zone a piece. So it will come down to a draw potentially. But if Ragnar can be a boss again for another turn, then Nick could secure a victory for the 13th. Even against odds, Ragnar may well take this by himself. Okay, so guys, you've seen it time in, time out. Can we do it this time? Khan is striking. They're both striking at the same time, as we've said every turn, but Khan first of all. Here we go. He needs to hit hotter than he did last turn, which he does. Only one miss, and now we need 3s. 6s would be very tasty, but not going to matter at this stage. So 2 more wounds, so 2 4-ups. Come on, die, die.
Reroll.
One reroll, the pressure is on. Can he make it? Can he make it? He can't, he dies. We take him, we take his skull.
I'm going to take you back though.
You are going to take me back, so can he take Khan? Can he take
warlord?
The warlord? It will be my warlord. See if you're going to take me back then, here we go.
Pause, re-rolling.
Okay, that reroll has been absolute boss. Not so good this turn, just a 2.
2 6s.
That is enough.
Rending. Come on. 1 6.
1 6. Okay, so we have 1 4-up, which we fail. We have a feel no pain, which we fail. He loses a wound. Next one 2-up, like a boss, makes it. Close.
I got my wolf.
And he's got his wolf that he keeps forgetting. Now I actually told him last turn, ladies and gentlemen, that if he forgets it one more turn, he's not going to have it. But go on, Nick. Can you kill him with the wolf?
Dies though, because he's.
Have a go with the wolf. Go on, let's see. See if the wolf can do it. Hits twice. Pause. Wounds once.
It's 1. That's 1. 1. Oh.
It's not. We survive, and we do take his warlord, which will almost certainly be a draw. I'm going to consolidate things out. We'll come back to you at the end of the turn, but it looks like that will secure the draw. But we'll come back in a second. So guys, at the end of turn 5, a pivotal turn for the World Eaters, we have consolidated out of combat. Khan and the Apothecary are behind that ruin, and that is it. So we'll now go into the final turn of the game, which will be Space Wolves. Have they got something? Can they roll the dice? Can they put something potentially into Khan? I don't know, we'll see as we go into turn 5 for the Space Wolves. So end of movement, psychic powers and shooting. So the Apothecary was wiped out through Living Lightning. That has been an awesome spell for the 13th all game long. And another whole point chipped off the Leviathan, 2 left, so he's okay. So we have the 2 wolves. Let's see whether they can take out Khan. They're going to charge in, anything but, well, double 1, they're already in, so not even going to roll on it. So Khan's going to hit him first.
Snapshot.
Yeah, snapshot with his mastercrafted plasma pistol with thing. So nothing. So we'll just go straight into his hits. So only 3s. Hit with all of them. And I need 3s. And they're dead.
3s?
Yeah.
That
was there, and that was there. Okay, so we've just gone back, and actually one of those wolves did survive. I did only roll 1 wound, so 1 dies, and we'll now go into the wolf. One single wolf's going to hit me back. Can he be the hero? Go for it, Nick. See if you can take him out.
Okay, here we go.
So need him for us. 2, like a boss.
Come on, you know it's going to happen.
He gets 1.
1. Yay!
And I have no fear of pain, no nothing. Believe Nick's going crazy here. You can't believe it. He just can't believe it. He just can't believe it. Because that, ladies and gentlemen, will be a win for the 13th company. There's nothing I can do. Khan gets killed by a wolf. And I don't know what to say. I don't even know. I'm lost for words, guys.
We wanted an epic game, and I think that was epic.
Yeah, ultimately, that was up until the last roll of the game. So the Space Wolves, the 13th, got their revenge. They did take out Khan with the last bite, quite literally, of the game. So well done, Nick. Awesome game. Really thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a ton of fun. He still sits there smug. He still can't quite believe it.
I'm absolutely loving it.
But yeah, absolutely epic game. This will be on Nick's channel as well. So if you want potentially a slightly cut down version and you want to kind of rejoice again at this Space Wolf victory, then please do pop over and watch the video there. There's loads of wicked content on Nick's channel. He's got tutorials, he's got you name it, loads of great content, battle reports, all sorts. So if you haven't already, jump over there, give him a sub, watch some of the videos because it's awesome, and make sure you tell him that I sent you. But thanks for watching this game. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a ton of fun to play, but this one is a Space Wolf victory. See you in the next video. Bye for now.